What's up YouTube, Spartan324 back here again with a little more detailed layout of just about every piece of gear that I run. A few pieces aren't here, you'll see in a little bit as you'll get a look at everything on me. But just a little more detail of what I run. I run 6 total GMP 130 round mid-cap magazines designed for high rated fire guns. I have 3 WE 226 25 magazines for my WE 226. This sidearm's been a real good sidearm thus far. I've upgraded the internals of this. If you look on evike.com and look up the NS2 inner barrel and hop up, it comes as one package, and you're able to upgrade the internals of this just by one simple drop-in package, and it has upgraded my FPS, the accuracy on it. The hop up is a little more adjustable on this than the one that comes stock. And then I removed the stock grips on this and bought a real steel variant rubber grip with finger grips in the front of this. One precaution to you guys: if you have this pistol or thinking about getting this particular pistol, if you do decide to change the stock grip out on that, be very careful when you remove the stock grips, and that is because on this side of the weapon, right here, you can't see right now, behind this, there are some mechanics to the weapon right here that will come off when you remove the grip. One of them is the guide for the hammer. The guide for the hammer right there, it is on a spring, so be very aware of that when you go to remove this. And then going back to this side right here, the decocker, which is right here, that decocks the hammer once the weapon has been primed. That will come off when you go to switch out these grips. So just be careful of that if this is something you have or are thinking about getting and wanting to change the grips out. Moving on to my grenades, I utilize thunder bead sound extraction devices using the flash bang style shell. My only gripe about this shell is that they are a lot bigger than what they appear to be when you look at a picture online. If you are wanting to run these grenades in a pouch, an actual grenade pouch or a flashbang pouch, do not use this shell. Because of the octagon shape of the bottom and the top, it makes it very hard to get it in a pouch and pull it out at will and on command. If you're going to use a pouch, I'd recommend buying the complete round sound flash shell or the pineapple shell that Evike sells as well. But if you're like me and utilize just a utility pouch to hold 2 of them, it works just fine. Personally, I like the aesthetic look of these shells, but again, that's my personal touch. I recommend buying at least 2 cores and not 1. 2 is always better than 1 when you're out on the airsoft field. It's always better to have a backup. You heard me earlier talk about my air source. This is a better look at it. 3000 psi at 48 cubic inch Ninja tank with the Ninja LPR regulator set at about 90 psi. I was right about that. So it's been a great tank, great regulator. The regulator does have a tournament lock right here. And to adjust your PSI on this regulator, you simply remove this end cap right here, and you take an Allen wrench into the internals of that and adjust your PSI to however you need. Moving on to my weapon, you'll see this again here in a minute. The base gun for this weapon is a Classic Army M4, 7-inch rail, full metal body, Magpul MOE stock, Magpul flip up sights. This holographic sight is not a repro. It is a Sightmark QD holographic sight. It has 4 different reticles, all red. I I've only run this sight for 2 or 3 games now, but it has been absolutely remarkable. It is very bright and is on the money, on spot when it comes to sighting it in. I've not had to adjust it since I first used it, so I highly recommend this sight. Retails for about almost $100. Well worth the money. My pack box is a FMA light and laser. The light on it's decent bright. It's almost 100 lumens, and then I utilize the green laser. I do not recommend buying the red laser variant of this. The red laser is very hard to see, even in a dark environment. I don't particularly like the way that the red laser comes out. The green, even in bright daylight, that green laser comes right out and is visible. The pressure plate for that I have run right here, right above my magwell, and that's because the way I prefer to grasp my weapon is here at the magwell, which is why I have a CAA magwell grip. This is designed for real steel purposes. I did have to slightly modify this just a little bit to get it to fit my weapon, but it's on there. It's great. It allows a very stable shooting platform if you prefer gripping your weapon at the magwell. And then at the end, I have just a 30mm by 180mm silencer with a 6-inch out of barrel that houses a 300mm Angel Custom 6.01 inner barrel with an R-hop installed by Umbrella Armory. I highly recommend going with an inner barrel that has an R-hop installed by Umbrella Armory. Umbrella Armory specializes in internal upgrades, especially when it comes to inner barrels and things of that nature. I've used it in the field, and this gun practically shoots laser beams now, man. I do not have a problem reaching out and engaging targets at a pretty good distance, and then being able to put multiple shots on the exact same target just about in the same spot every time. So I highly recommend going that route if you're looking to upgrade your inner barrel. I'm very happy with this weapon. Engine wise, I utilize a Polar Star Jack from Amped Airsoft, and then a Pro Win hop up. Between those 3 things in the inner barrel that I have, again, this thing shoots lasers. I don't have a problem engaging targets at distance and putting rounds on target where I need to. So you get what you pay for when it comes to these things, guys. Save up and do your research, find what works for you, and then go with it, and then spend time tuning your weapon. I spent, I'd say, at least an hour, if not an hour and a half, tuning this weapon, getting it to where I want it to go. So that pretty much covers it for my primary, secondary, and just about every other piece of gear. You're going to see here in a minute all this stuff back in its context, and see everything I have on me and on my person, so you'll get a look of how everything I've got looks and how it looks when I go in the field. So here's my whole loadout now in context, guys. You see how nice and sleek that my entire loadout is on me. The sling I utilize is a 1-point bungee sling by Condor. Keeps it nice and tight, but I can still maneuver my weapon out of the way. The pants I wear are 511 tactical pants. They're great pants. They've never ripped on me. And then the shirt I'm wearing is a Voodoo Tactical short sleeve combat shirt in graphite gray. I normally also wear an LBT, but this is my short sleeve. So again, the magazines are G&P 130 round high RPS, very sturdy. You're not going to break that magazine unless you're trying. So notice how the plate carrier
He is not interfering with the battle belt and vice versa. Everything is nice and slim. So my sidearm sits in a custom-made Codex holster that is fastened to the battle belt via a MOLLE belt attachment. Nice easy draw. It stays in there, the retention's good, but I don't have to fuss with a lot to draw it. I can just draw it and I'm good to go. The gloves I use are mechanics, just traditional mechanics gloves. I highly recommend wearing a pair of gloves, guys. It will save your hands. There's the utility pouch that I run both hand grenades in. And then the 2 Codex pistol mags. Draws right out, no problem. And then there's my dump pouch, and then you get a good look at that Pro Arms carrier in the back. The neck gaiter I wear is a Condor neck gaiter, protects my face. Smith Optics eyewear, and then an Emerson style helmet.
So back here at this loadout video, I just want to close that. This is what I run. This is how I like to run things. I'm very quick on my feet. When I need to move, I want to be able to move, and I don't want to be overcumbered by a lot of gear, a lot of things bulging out from my plate carrier. You know, as you can see, I don't have a whole lot on my plate carrier. You know, I don't do any milsim right now or anything like that. Most of my games are day games, afternoon games, things like that. I carry what I need. That one phrase can sum up the entire argument about gear. Carry what you need. That's it. I mean, I have my magazines in the front. I have one spare on my side right here. I have my carrier on the back that holds my air supply and my comm pouch that my radio will go into. And then I have my knee pads, my helmet, and eye protection and face protection. That's it. So again, carry what you need. Do not overcome yourself with a lot of gear just because it looks cool. I mean, I'm all about aesthetic value and what looks good, but only to the point that you're not overdoing it. You know, I'm all about looking cool out there in the field, but I'm not going to overdo myself and overweigh myself down to where I can't get through doorways, I can't move quickly, I can't extract quickly, you know. So keep all that in mind when you're out there looking for your own gear. You know, by all means, if you like what you see, use it as your inspiration. But find out what works for you, what kind of loadout you're going to use. So keep all that in mind, guys. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask below in the comment box. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and we'll see you out there on the field next week with some new gameplay footage. Thanks for watching, guys. Spartan324 out.